Hello and welcome back to the One Agora Integrative Health YouTube channel. Today's video is all about homeopathic remedies that you can use for kids during the flu and cold season. As the seasons change and the flu and cold season arrives, parents often find themselves dealing with the dreaded flu and cold season and symptoms that go along with it. Young children in particular are susceptible to these common illnesses and a lot of the signs and symptoms we see during the flu and cold season, and we can use homeopathic remedies to help with these. While conventional medicine can be effective, some parents prefer a more natural and holistic approach to help alleviate their kids' symptoms or to use these along with other conventional medicine methods. Homeopathic remedies offer a gentle and safe alternative for addressing the discomfort and distress that often accompany the flu and cold, and also a lot of the symptoms that we see during this time of year. We'll explore some common symptoms and corresponding homeopathic remedies to consider for your child during the time of the year. If you have any questions, please also reach out to any natural providers that use homeopathics, or some of this information is also available online. Let's start by looking at remedies that we can use for runny nose and sneezing. And as we all know, runny noses and sneezing are a common symptom of cold and allergies that we see during this time of year. Let's look at two of my favorite homeopathic remedies to use for these signs and symptoms. The first one is called Allum Cepa, and this is a remedy that can help when the child has a watery, burning discharge from the nose and frequent sneezing. So when there's that sort of discomfort that they have and just that constant watery nose and symptoms, this is a great one to go to. Another homeopathic remedy is Natrum Muriaticum, and this is for children who have a clear, watery nasal discharge that resembles sort of that egg white. So it's a little bit thicker, and it tends to be a little bit more thicker and sticky. Now let's look at a next symptom, which is coughing and congestion, and this is one that we see a lot, obviously, this time of year with children. It is also a symptom that a lot of us know is sort of more bothersome during the cold season. And, you know, when you hear the coughing child and the congested child, you really want to do stuff to help them. And this is when homeopathics is a great thing to lean into and to use. The first homeopathic that you can use is Spongia Tosta, and this is ideal for kids with a dry, barking cough and tightness in the chest. So along with other conventional methods like humidifiers, conventional medicines, if you want to use those too, you can add this in, and it really will help with sort of that cough and the tightness and difficulty breathing that sometimes comes along with it. And as we all know who have a kid that, coughs, this is a great one to have because it really can soothe and decrease those symptoms and help the cough. There also is one called Bryonia Alba, and this is if your child has a dry, painful cough. If it's an irritable cough, this remedy is very effective, and it's great to have both of these on hand in case your child does get congested or start to develop a cough. Now let's talk about another common sign and symptom that we see, which is sore throat. A sore throat can make your child miserable, and these remedies can really help to ease discomfort and are especially great to use at the onset of a sore throat. The first one is just one of my favorites altogether, which is Belladonna. If your child has sort of a sudden onset of severe sore throat, along with redness and heat in their throat, Belladonna is a great one to go to. This is also one that I just keep on hand for inflammation in general. And obviously use this along with conventional medicine. So if you are thinking infection, please do seek the care of your medical doctor. Another great one is Mellifica, which is a remedy that is suitable for a sore throat that feels better with cold drinks and worse with warm drinks. And so if you're finding one that really responds well to cold drinks and like sort of that soothing coldness, then this is a great homeopathic to have on hand. Now let's talk about what we can do homeopathically for fever. I do always like to remind people that fevers are the body's natural response to infections. And so, when we talk about fevers, our bodies, especially the bodies of young ones, are going to start to get this increase in temperature to help fight off the infection and really start to get all of those different mechanisms going. But obviously, this is also something we want to keep in control and not let get out of hand because of both comfort and the risk of seizures. And for those reasons, homeopathic remedies are a great way to support the body's natural responses during this process, but also control the symptoms enough that the child is comfortable. So one of the best ones to have is one called Aconite, and this one is recommended for sudden high fevers that come on abruptly, especially after exposure to cold and wind. I do always get the question, can I use this along with fever suppressing medications. You can use homeopathics alone. You can use them together. Obviously, in traditional homeopathic, they don't mix and match a lot, but you can use this in conjunction with other things. And so I think it's important to remember that. And another one we can use is Ferrum Phos, and this is used as a remedy for a low-grade fever, especially the ones you see at the onset of an illness, when the child just starts to have this fever and it's sort of becoming this chronic, just always there, might not spike up even past 100 or in the low hundreds, but this is a great one to use for a low-grade fever, where Aconite is one that we use a little bit more for spikes. They can, again, be used interchangeably, but what you find in homeopathic is we sort of really try to link the homeopathic with the specific symptoms, and that's where we get the best results. Now let's talk about irritability and restlessness that we can see when somebody is sick. And this is obviously common to see that children do become irritable and restless when they're unwell. And homeopathic remedies can really help to calm the emotional and physical discomfort that comes along with being sick. Chamomilla is a great one, and this is suitable for children who are extremely irritable and they seem sort of inconsolable. And so when they have a tendency to demand one thing and then reject it, and they're that child that you just can't make happy because they are irritable and uncomfortable, this is a great calming one to use with the child. And then there's also Pulsatilla, which if your child is clingy, weepy, and seeking comfort during illness, Pulsatilla is a great one. And I actually use this one for a lot of different ones too. So just like Belladonna, this is a go-to for a lot of different ones. But this is a great one to just help calm your child when they really need a lot of comfort. If you do have questions, you can always ask them below, but also remember to consult a qualified homeopathic practitioner for individualized recommendations or specific questions that you might have. And I also give the recommendation that, you can go to a lot of co-ops or Whole Foods or other places like that. They do have a homeopathic section, and all of their sections are usually broken down by symptoms, because what you really want to do for the right remedy is be selected based on the child's specific symptoms. And if you ever visit the homeopathic section in any of these stores, you'll see that they really do break it down for specific symptoms and which homeopathic remedies are recommended on that. And I definitely just have to put the disclaimer in there that obviously consult a healthcare professional for severe or worsening symptoms, or if you have any concerns about the safety of your child. But I hope this video helps you sort of think more about homeopathic remedies, because they can offer a gentle and natural approach to help alleviate common symptoms that kids experience during the cold and flu season. These are a great tool to use to stimulate the body's innate healing abilities, promote overall well-being, and also decrease some of those symptoms that, we just don't want to see children go through during this time of year. So it is great to add them into your toolbox of other remedies that you use in conventional medicine that you use during this time of year, and either to use in conjunction or with certain symptoms, you can use them on their own. So really hope you enjoyed this video, and remember that by considering the symptoms and appropriate remedies, parents can really help their children find some relief and comfort during this challenging flu and cold season. If you guys liked this video, please press the subscribe button. That way you'll get the newest videos when they come out, as we just continue to educate about things that we can all do for optimal health and wellness in our wellness community.